This is Chit Chat That with John and Stefan.
Carl Jr. like, well, net neutrality ended today. And they have this GIF making it look all pixelated. Because your internet's going to slow down.
Why?
Plus, the week that net neutrality is officially gone, AT&T buys Time Warner.
Oh, no. So net neutrality is supposed to be gone when?
Like June teen. One of those.
Oh, so it's like in like a couple weeks.
I think it's this week or maybe next week.
Wow, that is really close. A lot closer than I thought. But that's only going to be for the website side, right?
Have you already started?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. Welcome to Chit Chat That.
That's right. Welcome, everybody.
I'm John.
I'm Stefan. With an F-A-N.
Yeah, so we were just talking a little bit about net neutrality because it was on my Twitter and I was scrolling through it. Yeah, I think it ends really soon is when it goes into effect. I want to say this week, and for whenever this is published, it could be right, could be wrong, because this probably isn't going to be published today.
Well, maybe. I could leave it with you and you could play with it.
See if I can figure it out. I tried doing. I'm really bad at it. I'm gonna need to take some serious lessons on how to edit things.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get software that's a lot better. Like I try to use like Windows programs that are like come already on it, and it's pretty much here's your clip. Here are the 5 things that you can add to it that we've already done for you. And that's like the extent of your editing.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to like trim and take things out and.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue with a lot of those kinds of like iMovie and the Windows Movie Maker. They just suck because they don't let you do anything. But it makes sense that they're free.
Free is always good.
If you don't want to do much.
I like free. But I also like doing things.
Right. And if you want to do something, you're going to have to pay for it.
Speaking of paying for it, so I was looking at getting like noise canceling headphones that I can like play music with. Because what I'm doing right now is I have like my headphones that I'll go shoot a gun with or I'll like work in my shop with.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've been doing is I'll put headphones on, like earbuds, and then I'll put those over my earbuds and then listen to music while I like mow the lawn. That way it cancels out all the outside noise, but then I can still hear the inside, so it's...
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to like crank up to full blast and ruin my ears.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But I look really silly mowing my lawn. At least, the front yard. Maybe I could just not do that.
It can't be that bad, though, because it's just... You said your ear pods are in your...
Yeah, in my ears. So I have, like, these bright green... I don't know. I just feel like I'm a safety nerd.
Oh.
Like, it's not cool to, like, wear your helmet. It's not cool to protect your ears. Yeah, so I'm mowing the lawn.
It's like, why are you wearing earmuffs?
Yeah. So I went to try to find some, and they're expensive.
Yes, that is true. They are very expensive.
And I was like, I don't really need to be that nice, because if it's too nice, I'm using this mainly for like working in my shop.
Yeah, rough.
So I can listen to music and not like blow out my eardrums when I'm cutting wood. And then also mowing the lawn. So I'll be like outside. It'll be in the sun for a good couple hours.
Don't want the sun to wear and tear it.
And I'll be sweating because grass grows in all these hot months. And when I walk around a yard when it's hot, I sweat.
And then you get all
sorry,
sweaty.
guys, if that's gross, but
when else would you use noise canceling headphones? Just when your kids are around?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you guys go play. And whatever happens, don't... I won't need to worry about it. And then your wife comes up and it's like, don't you hear the sirens and the screaming? And it's like, no, these are really good headphones.
Well, we've seen that like YouTube video. I don't know if you've seen it. It like pops up on Facebook when you're scrolling. But it's a parody on like kid sees for the first time and they'll put like glasses on like a toddler and also they can see and they start crying.
Yeah.
Or someone's gone their whole life. They're really touching. So of course we got to do a parody on it.
Yeah.
And someone's like, a dad hears silence for the first time. And so he's sitting there with a guy and you can hear all the kids yelling in the background. And he's like, shut up. And like the kids go silent for a while. And then you see the dad like act all shocked. And then he like starts crying because it's so amazing.
That's how I would be.
That's why I thought with the noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, when the kids finally fall asleep, I'm like, oh.
It's so crazy how much harder everything is with kids.
Yeah.
And like you never get used to it. Like it's always difficult.
Yeah.
Like right now they have the Parade of Homes going in Utah County. And so me and my wife went to that. Berkeley was at like a summer camp. And so we took Zoe and dropped her off at a cousin's house. And we went to some houses by ourselves. And then tonight we're like, oh, we'll take them to one house. That'll be fun.
How'd that go?
It's tough because like a lot of people just let their kids run wild in these homes. But I feel like that's pretty like, they're like big fancy homes and they're like showing off. They don't need kids knocking things over. People live here. You're a guest.
Yeah.
So we have to like hold their hand the whole time and then like constantly be getting after them.
Say, stop it.
And they have those boots, those little booties that you put on your feet that look like you're about to like go into operation.
Yeah, like a hospital.
Perform some surgery. And then the kids are all like, this doesn't fit my feet. It's too big. And it's like, well, it's made for like one size fit all. So they got to fit you and the 7 foot, 500-pound guy all in one design. So it's going to look a little big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was stressful. I don't know why we always try to do that stuff.
I try and tell my wife what's like. She's like, oh, we could just bring the kids. I'm like, nope. If we're going to do anything, it's not.
Not with kids.
Yeah. It's like, we can't do that. Like, it never works, in my opinion. It's like, oh, he spent, like you said, half the time it's just stressing over what the kid getting into. Why is he doing it? Cut it out. Time to go. And then they don't want to go. Or it's, or you're going in and they don't want to go in. Anyway. They always seem to be the opposite of whatever's going on. It's like, we need to be quiet. And then they want to run around. And I say, okay, go run around. And then they won't leave your side. You're like, ugh. Why is that?
And the crazy thing is like every single time you're like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
You have like this idea in your head that this perfect best case scenario is going to happen.
Yeah. This could work out.
And it's shattered within like moments.
Oh, yeah. Like as soon as you say, we're going, it's like,
we didn't even make it to the car before it started becoming a bad idea. We both wanted the same car seat. And so one was crying and refused to go to their side. And then the other one's crying because she got frustrated because she likes to buckle herself in. And so like, oh man, I already don't want to do this anymore, but we've already promised them.
Yeah, then you're stuck.
Some reason my 4-year-old loves seeing fancy houses.
Well, my wife has a problem with like telling the kids like, we're going to go do this. I'm like, when did this happen? Like, when did we decide to go? It's like, oh, I told the kids we could do this. They're like, well, then you go. And then she didn't like it because she's like, I need you there. I'm like, but I don't want to be there with all that mess. I know what's going to happen. And then it happens. Ooh, what's that?
So sorry, I get distracted really easily. So I'm like still listening, but this is how it keeps me focused. So I was scrolling through Instagram. And all of a sudden, there's one that was like,
oh, that's gross.
Warning, sensitive content. So I'm like, well, of course, I want to see what this is. You gotta click on that.
He's like
and
cooking
it's
a monkey.
Dude, barbecuing a monkey.
Like a whole monkey.
And so you see the monkey that's like not even skinned or anything. And they're barbecuing it on the grill. And it's like, in many African countries, consumption of bushmeat is commonplace. And in places like the island of Bioko, where I photographed this grisly scene, eating bushmeat is actually a status symbol. No thanks, I don't want to eat monkey.
Not like that.
Oh, and look, there's like a goat right behind it too.
They just throw the whole thing on and cook it?
They don't even like gut it. They're just
that's the thing. I'm like, isn't there a reason they gut stuff?
Yeah, you don't eat the guts are gross. I don't know, maybe we're just like, I don't know, like the guts just hold poop. And so you probably don't want those. As far as, I don't know. They can run marathons like it's nothing. So maybe the secret is cooking your meat like that. Maybe I'll just go out and fry up a monkey whole.
Just throw the animal. It's like, you look tasty. I'll throw the whole thing on the stove.
While I get winded going up a flight of stairs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eating my
Some people just have
Hygienic
way
food.
too much, and and they call us impatient. You know, when someone just throws the whole monkey on the stove like that, I mean that can't be good.
yeah. Where's your dedication to?
You know, the culinary arts. It's like cut it up, clean it up, make it look nice, and then eat something that actually not only tastes good but looks good. Ooh,
Like fishing, I like all the parts of it until you catch the fish. Like,
Yeah.
I like bringing in the fish and be like, yeah, look at this fish. Everything after that, I don't like.
You don't want to clean it or
I
anything?
remember them like my scout leader would be like, all right, now you gotta kill it. So they like grab it and start banging its head against a rock, and I'm just like, oh,
That's the only way to do
that
it?
poor fish. I don't know.
That's just how you decided. Like, well,
that's
this
how-
seems like a good way to do it.
That's how they did. And I remember thinking, oh, that's kind of gruesome. And then they're like, all right, now we gotta gut it. So then they like put a knife in its like bunghole. They have these little holes by the tail, and they just rip it all the way up to their mouth, and just start scooping everything out. And I'm like, you didn't eat this? I don't think I can eat meat if I like saw my meat start to finish. Like I wouldn't be able to do it. I like not knowing. Like I know what happens.
Yeah, but it's easier
I'm
just
fully
to
aware.
jump to the final product of, oh, I can cook this.
Yeah, like this next slide is
Yeah, that's not
the
monkey.
best smoked meat in the city. The portions are masked and the quality is spectacular. It looks like a prime rib sandwich.
Yeah, without the rest of the cow.
See,
just
but if
the rib.
if I saw that start to finish, I'd be like, you know what?
That's
thank
okay.
you.
Someone's holding a snake. Would you
I did remember
believe
hearing
it?
a podcast where like plants can feel pain though.
Yes, because I've heard that too. Well, I didn't hear the podcast, but I've heard that where it's like because they're living and they have nerves, I guess, to some extent.
Well, they have like sensory things that
Yeah.
like detect when bugs go on them and things like that.
Yeah,
So when you pull a plant and you snap it in half,
it's going.
crunch into that celery. I mean, it's probably already
Yeah,
dead.
take that, all
but
you
so
vegans.
is my
I'm just
hamburger.
kidding.
It's already dead. So yeah, there's no winning.
Nope.
There's nothing left to eat.
No, there isn't. Just dirt. And actually, there's probably a bunch of things in there that you're killing while you're
We're gonna find out bacteria.
microorganism things. It's all over the place. You can't. It's just the circle of life, you know.
I like to think like, what would it be like if I was a caveman? I'd be a terrible caveman. I don't like seeing my monkeys cooked all in one thing, let alone like not even eating them with fire, like without cooking it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be a good caveman.
Because I like my steak well done. If there's any juices coming out of the steak, can't do it. That is gross.
I can do some like a light, at the most a light pink, like in the very center. So it's like medium well.
See, but I'll tell people like medium well, and to that means purple. And so I have to say like well done, and I was like, you cannot overcook this for me, is what I'll tell them, because they can't overcook it.
Yeah,
for me.
it's a lot better that way.
Because I feel like you can cook a meat well done, and it's still juicy and easy to cut through and tender.
As long as you got
And
enough
not have
barbecue sauce,
blood.
I could eat it.
Yeah, I'll dip it in some A1.
A1 or
We can have all
bullseye.
these meat enthusiasts pissed off at us.
Oh yeah. Sorry, barbecuers. We just cook the meat so it's to safety regulations and beyond.
I have a friend, his wife was like a health inspector for restaurants. So cool to go eating with them.
Why?
Because everyone's like, oh no, she's a health inspector. So we get like super good service all the time because they'll like recognize her, and like they don't know, it's like, oh, is she just here with friends, or is she like secret shopping us? Like, what's going on? And then if you do barbecues with her, she has like all the rules and knows exactly how to cook all the meats and all the specifications. Like, it puts me at ease.
You're like, you go ahead and do your thing.
Because if you have like a hamburger, you have to cook all the way through because you grind it up, and so all the bacteria on the outside is now grounded up all throughout the meat. So a steak, you don't have to for the bacteria, but you got to kill the worms. What if it has worms? You know how well meat's regulated? Not very well.
There's been plenty of recalls lately.
I think they pretty much get like this whole big boat coming off of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Or they'll get like huge shipments of it and they'll test like one crate.
Yep.
And then assume the rest of them are the same.
That's the only way they can do it. It's all that statistics stuff. It's like, if we got this many pounds of beef, statistically, if we check this much beef, that should account for this much of how much of the order should be okay.
So even if your odds are low of dying from your undercooked steak, or not dying, but getting worms would be kind of gross.
Oh yeah, it would.
I'm not for that. Cause
some people put tapeworms in just for weight loss, like on purpose.
I'm not like 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure those come out of your butt.
Tapeworms? No, they're stuck in there.
Like they have to like surgically remove them?
No, I think they...
Is it hookworms I'm thinking of that go out your butt?
Yeah, I think hookworms. But the tapeworm, it stays in your intestine. Once it's there, it latches on. And I think the only way they get it out is, or at least one way they get it out, is through a tube that they stick down. And they kind of lure it out. So, like... Yeah.
You're here, boy.
Pretty much. Well, because those things I heard that can get really long. And they're really gross. And, yeah, you'll lose a lot of weight because it takes everything you eat.
You just described a penis.
It takes everything you eat? What part did I describe?
I'm going to stop. You went like long and gross and
gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. So I've heard babies being described as parasites. And I was like, it's kind of true.
Yep.
They just sit there in the stomach. They absorb all the nutrients, make them super tired.
Yep.
And then when the host can't take it anymore, they're like, all right, I'm out.
Yep. Take it out.
And then they're like, now I'm going to attach onto you from the outside.
Yep. And they never stop. Then they just take your wallet.
They take your wallet. Baby's like, that's mine.
Yep. It's like, thank you.
I haven't seen like kids being like super expensive.
No.
They're time consuming.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
And time is money.
Kind of. I spend most of my time when I'm not with kids just entertainment. So I guess it's money I spend on other things. Not really earning much.
Yeah, I wonder if you thought like what your dollar per hour worth is, and when you go to do things, you're like, would I pay an extra this much money to do that? Because I think a lot of my time is spent doing nothing. I like to veg out. I'll play on my phone.
Yeah, I do that. I think most people do that actually right now. That's our day and age.
I was listening to a talk, and they're talking about technology addictions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy wasn't like worried about it. He's like, nah, our kids are growing up with it. They just adapt to it. They'll like be fine. That was it. That's the story. And they said like our generation have a harder time with it because we didn't grow up like that, and then all of a sudden it was introduced later in life, and so we have a harder time with it. We're like making all these assumptions on it, where we're still like studying the kids that have only had tons of social media or like tons of tablet usage and all this other stuff and technology. Because I grew up when like Nintendo was getting big. I remember getting the NES, Nintendo Entertainment
N64,
SNES, spending lots of time on it.
I don't remember the NES. I think the first thing I remember was the Sega Genesis. And then I remember the Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast. We were Sega fans. We got a lot of Sega stuff. And you know what happened?
I never had a Sega.
They went out. What?
I had all Nintendo stuff until I bought my own. And the first thing that was non-Nintendo that I got was an Xbox, and I
You
haven't
should've
had
got
anything
the
since an
Switch.
Xbox. I think the GameCube was the last one before like I left. Like, in the Wii came out like maybe my senior year. Or, like it wasn't. Okay, let me see. Nintendo Wii. When did that come out?
I think it was probably like 2002. That's just a guess. I have no idea. We will see, though, really soon, because we're going to consult the Google. I'm going to Google it.
November 19th, 2006.
I was
So,
off by 4
I
years.
graduated in May of 2006. So yeah, it was after high school. So I wasn't living at home anymore. And I didn't have money to spend on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, college making me poor.
Yeah, makes everyone poor.
Don't worry though. 12
Why?
years later, I'm still paying for that school.
Has it been 12 years since you've been out of school?
Eight of those years I was still in school.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But and that's pretty cheap because I did 4 undergrad and then 4 overgrad.
Overgrad? That's what they call it now.
Exactly.
Undergrad. I only did the 4 undergrad. I don't know if I want to go overgrad because then it's even more expensive. And they limit all your, what is that? Financial aid opportunities for the overgrad.
I got a question for you. You're a doctor. How do you tell someone they're fat and need to lose weight?
Say, I'm sorry, you're fat and you need to lose weight. And you don't even need to say you're sorry. Oh, I found out there's a difference between saying you're sorry and saying you apologize.
If you're saying I'm sorry, you're like I'm sorry about, like, I feel sorrowful about this situation. I feel sorry. Like,
Yeah, it has
doesn't mean you're apologizing
it's like a
for it. You're
sympathy
just
or
sorry
empathy
of
or
the
something like that. One of those.
the circumstance.
Yeah, that's what sorry is. Apologizing is actually taking responsibility for whatever happened.
They teach you that at work today?
No.
Oh.
That was actually what I learned at the pharmacy last week when I worked there.
A customer tell you?
No.
You're like, I'm sorry. He's like, let me tell you the difference between
No,
I'm
we
sorry.
were making fun of. Well, we weren't making fun. We were poking fun at Katie because she'll say she's sorry a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, "Are you really?" She's like, "No."
Oh, the truth's out there, Katie.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you're a sham now.
Yeah, because she started saying that.
Sham now?
She's like,
sham wow.
yeah.
When I said sham now, it made me think of sham wow.
No, sham woohoo. But yeah, she was, because she started rushing, I just say sorry, like, as a knee-jerk response. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, sorry. And it's like, you realize now that it doesn't matter if you say sorry. Now, if you say, I'm sorry, I apologize, then the people are like, why are you taking the blame? Unless, I guess, you should take the blame. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were talking about that. So we had to look it up in the dictionary. And there's a difference in the dictionary. It specifies. It made the difference.
Specificity?
Yeah, I was going to try.
Specificity?
I'm trying to figure out how you say that. Specification? No. I can't even put that together if I wanted to. That's a really cool picture. Wish
That
you
is
guys
cool.
could all see this. It's really cool. That's like the
Heck
coolest 360. Well, it's not 360. It's just a.
So I
Super
went
wide.
to the doctor today, and he had to tell me I was fat,
Oh, did he?
which is why this all came about.
Did he? Did he really?
Yeah, so like I had this conference. We had to test our blood sugars, and
Oh, okay.
mine is really bad.
When was that?
And I've been testing it every day, and it's been really bad.
Really?
So I went to the doctor, but they tested my A1C, and it's good, yo.
What's the A1C?
I'm not even pre-diabetes. I'm just like, holy shit, John, you better change something, or you're gonna get the diabetes.
So is that pre-diabetes if you're gonna get diabetes?
I'm like pre.
Pre?
Yeah, I'm pre-diabetic. I've had numbers though that are like diabetic numbers. It's just my A1C.
What's A1C?
So A1C is they look at your hemoglobin, and glucose will bind to it, and it stays there for like 2 to 3 months. So you can go and take a whole bunch of hemoglobin and count all the bloods or the glucoses on them, and kind of get an idea of what your average blood sugar's been over the last 2 or 3 months, which is the lifespan of
Okay.
these blood cells. So it just tells you your average. So if you have like one bad blood sugar, it may not mean anything. It may just like your diet's really crap and your body can't compensate. So they look at that for like a historical. So, I mean, it was.
So historically, you're okay.
It was
but
just,
daily, it
just
varies.
a little bit away from like the pre-diabetes
So you weren't
A1C.
quite.
So like,
So you weren't.
I'm
Okay.
doing bad, but
Okay.
not.
So you must have had some good times and some bad times, and they averaged out to just below the pre for for that A8 whatever ACL. No, that's not it.
A1C.
That's the one.
Yeah. So the doctor was like, "So we have your BMI here, and what we're gonna need you to do is grow taller." And I was like, "Haha, can't do that." He's like, "All right, then what we're gonna have to do is lose some weight." He's like, "If you go to this weight,
Yeah.
your BMI will go past this critical point where we start seeing like health problems and such."
Really, I always heard the body mass index thing is kind of,
It's based off averages,
right?
So if you're the average person, then yeah, it can be pretty helpful. If you're short,
average
I think it's gonna be a higher than average. Like your BMI is gonna be a little bit higher, and if you're tall, it's gonna be lower than average. Right. So we can have some unhealthy tall people it's gonna say they're fine, but they're really not. And there's going to be some healthy short people. I'm not healthy, by the way. I'm not like defending myself. I do have to lose weight.
Yeah.
I am fully aware of this, even before the doctor told me. But yeah. So and then the other thing it doesn't look at too much is like muscle and like
versus
mass
fat.
and stuff like that. So NFL players would be considered like obese. A lot of them. Because they're usually like
heavy,
super
but they're
bulky, and
built.
They're not always like super tall either. Because if they're tall, they'll play basketball.
Yeah.
And so they might be 3% body fat, but overweight or obese on the BMI scale.
So that's a tough one to. So it's a measurement, but it's not the
my
deciding
BMI
factor.
is probably higher than like
normal.
The actual numbers would correlate to me at my short height. However, it's still higher than it should be. But I'm aware. I'll lose weight eventually. I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
It's just I get so stressed about being fat, so I eat. And then I get fatter, and then I get more stressed out about it.
What are you gonna do? So is it the stress that's the problem or the food?
My problem. So like I exercise, and I have no problem doing that. Like exercise is fun. I enjoy doing it. Mine is portion control and what I eat is the big thing that's
and how
my
often?
problem. Yeah.
That's my problem.
Like if I had a whole bag of potato chips, I'd be like, yeah, that's downable. I could just
I
could
sit
eat
there.
that whole thing. So I've like lost weight in the past. And usually all I do is I'll increase my exercise. So I'll add more like cardio into it. So like right now I've been pretty consistent, like 3 days a week, like lifting weights. We've been doing that for a while. Like some weeks are worse than others.
Yeah, some more than others.
But since the gym's in my house,
makes it a lot easier.
I go probably more often. But you go to eBay and work?
Yep.
How many days a week?
Usually 4.
4 days a week? Yeah. So you're probably working out more than me.
Yeah.
I've also been sick.
Yeah,
like
so
the last
that's
2
what,
weeks. So I haven't been working out that much, so that probably can just shoot my numbers up.
Yeah, that's always.
And then also being sick. So not working out and being sick can boost them up. So maybe I'm at a high point right now, which is really bad. But then when I'm not sick and I'm back to exercising, I'll like control it again. So maybe that's why my 2 to 3 month average was good, but lately it hasn't been good. Yeah, I got sick. It sucked. I had a fever of like 104.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, and you didn't have anything else, or was it just the fever?
No, I had a sore throat and sinus stuff. Yeah, it sucked. I passed out in the shower. Because like I get like fever and then chills, and so I like to like warm up, so I'll take like a hot bath. But baths are gross. And so like if I'm to the point where I'm willing to soak in my own filth to feel better, that means I'm like pretty sick.
Ugh.
But it was in the morning, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to work. And so I woke up super early and got in the shower and like turned it on. And usually I don't have the shower like too hot because it burns me, it hurts. But this time I was like cranking it up, and I just started kind of like breathing heavy, and I passed out.
And you like,
And it was like weird. I was like,
and you just totally like, did you fall kind of thing?
yeah, because
like,
I was leaning against like the
Man,
wall
that
because we're in
sucks.
like the stand up showers.
Oh yeah.
If anybody wants, I can take a video of it and I'll post it on our. Just kidding. I'm not gonna. You perverts.
Do a reenactment.
A reenactment and like try to blur everything. But I was leaning against like the wall, and then I just remember slipping and kind of like spinning, like I was going down a toilet almost. So like I kind of spun in a circle.
Did you fall fast or slow?
It was pretty fast. But like it's weird when you pass out. You don't have much control over it, but you're like still
Aware. It's like
A lot
you
of
lose
times.
control of everything, but you're like, oh no. But your consciousness.
like you're still conscious as you're starting to go out, and then you're probably like a time where you're not conscious, and then you start gain your conscious back before you gain your like your motor ability again.
That sounds horrible. See, that stuff is. Yeah. What was it? Oh, I actually had a hard time watching the. What's it? Doctor Strange. When his hands get all messed up. Spoiler alert.
You're like, ah. Have you seen Solo
Yeah,
yet?
like I started Solo. No, I've heard it sucks. I've heard both actually.
I've heard both as well, which I've heard
some
about
people
all like.
it's pretty good.
I didn't mind The Last Jedi. Like there's stuff that like
I can't
bugged
think
me,
about it. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it bugs me. That's what my problem is with The Last Jedi. It's just been kind of on a downhill trend where I'm just like, there wasn't much about it that I like. Like there was some standout moments to me. Like I still really like the light speed through the First Order fleet, and like there are some key moments I was like, that's cool. And then the rest of it, I'm just like, story-wise, I didn't like much of it. Like there were elements about it that were kind of fun, but the rest of it I didn't really care for. And that's what I've kind of heard with Solo, because most of the positive reviews are like, well, it's not bad. Like I haven't heard this like anyone totally praise it like this was totally worth making and they should make more. Most people are like, it was either passable or not really. At least the stuff I've heard. I don't know about you. Maybe you've heard some stuff.
I'm either gonna see it on a $5 movie day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or a red
or
box.
I'll wait till it comes out, and
Yeah,
I'll probably
I was
just
in
buy
that.
it on Amazon. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's how I rent movies now. I just buy them on Amazon because they're like $14 most of the time.
Yeah, which isn't bad. Is that for standard or?
And it used to be
HD?
back in the day, like it was like $6 to $8 to rent a movie. So I mean, it's not much more
Yeah.
if you like take in inflation and stuff.
Well, and if you take in the fact of how often you may watch it, because my wife's on this kick of renting like Disney movies when the kids want to watch them. I'm like, why don't we just buy it? She's like, well, because they're only gonna watch it like a few times and we won't use it anymore. I'm like, but how many times are we gonna rent it before they're done with it?
Once a week for 10 years.
Yeah, like seriously, like I don't know. She's rented. I can't remember, like 1 or 2 movies already, and I have a feeling we'll probably rent it again at some point. And I'm like, even if we rent it more than like 3 or 4 times in our lifetime, it would have been better just to buy it.
Yeah.
Because it is, yeah, it's about $4 or $5 to rent it online, like because we use the Voodoo. And it's like, yeah, they're just going to, yeah, you might as well just buy it. Especially when they go on deals, like some of them it went down to like $10, like the older Disneys, and sometimes on sales. And I was like, oh, like I bought Lion King finally because I was like, I like that movie. Anyway,
I found out at the barbecue, our wives, neither of them listen to our podcast,
I know.
so we could say whatever we want, and they will never know.
That's true.
My wife's pretty cool. I don't have much bad to say.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know, do I? Maybe I do. No, I don't.
Actually, Let's see, how much time do we got left? 8
Yeah.
minutes, that's not enough time.
Yeah, it's like, well, another time, another day.
No, I think most of the time, like, if we disagree on something, like, if I just stop for a second, I'm like, she's probably right, John. Maybe
Yeah.
we should just give up.
Yeah, there's been some. I think we get too much. We have too much fun with our debates because I think we both just want to. Like, there's some debates that I think are done, but then they come back later, like months later, maybe just
Like,
random conversation, and they'll be like, "This thing, like, thought it was over, but it wasn't."
See, and
Those are
me and my
fun,
wife,
though.
we're the opposite in that. So I'm the one that's, like, bringing things up from the past. I was like, you remember our first date when you did this? You jerk.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I don't know, she get mad about something and she'll be fine within, like, 10 minutes. And she, like, doesn't yell. She's never yelled at me.
That's really good. I don't know. I don't think she's ever yelled. She told me off.
So you listen here.
Yeah, you stop. You're done. Like,
Yeah, my
okay.
wife will, like, tell me stuff. But usually when she gets mad, she
Mhm.
gets quiet.
Oh.
And that bugs me the most. That
She's like,
gets
come
me.
on,
I
say
was like,
something.
is something wrong? No.
Oh, and it's like everything's through her teeth.
It seems like something's wrong because you've been glaring at me all day long. No. I was like, if you told me, then we can, like, work through it, get over it, and be fine. No, I'm not mad. Like, you seem really mad. And if I push it enough, she'd be like, day when you said this, it hurt my feelings. And I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then it's done.
But that process to
then
get there takes a while.
It just takes a little bit. Whereas
It
I
happens.
don't know. I feel like I'm the cause of all bad in the world. I should be less of a douchebag.
No, you've been listening to the social media and all the movements lately. I mean, today the man is the worst thing in the world. You know?
Mhm.
I mean,
How dare I?
yeah. Right now, it's all about the woman. So, if you're not a woman, then you're just the devil.
To all our women listeners out there.
You're
Which I
angels,
think's-
apparently.
All of our listeners. The other ones I know are ladies.
Well, I'm not saying ladies are bad. I'm just saying
I did
right now.
see a quote that I liked. It was like, I'm going to butcher it or sound like a jerk.
Well, try both.
All right, let's
Butcher
try
it and sound like a jerk.
So it was, it was something like, instead of being worried about doing everything a guy can do, focus on what guys can't do. Like, everyone's different. And I know, like, if you look at it reasonably, if you take, like, the average man and the average woman, there'll be differences.
Mhm.
And we're all on a spectrum of man and a spectrum of women. So there would be women out there that are more stereotypical men and they do manly things than, like, some of the men do on the side. So, I mean, it's hard to generalize everything to a certain thing. But I think both sexes have different traits.
Masculine and
Yeah.
feminine. I can see that. Well, because I've talked about this with my wife even, where it's like, yeah, it's like there's a difference between male and female and masculine and feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway. And that's, yeah, like you're saying, where it's like you can have masculine and feminine in that sense on both sides, but it's like they're still male and female.
And
in my opinion.
I would like it if we stopped labeling things masculine or feminine.
Right.
We're giving these people disorders, and they're, like, feeling like they don't know what's going on.
Well, it causes some confusion to, yeah.
Oh,
What time is it?
they are here
Oh,
working out numero dos today because we just worked out.
oh, so it's
And
Kel?
now, yeah, Kel and Slaney are coming over,
Oh.
and the girls are going to work out, and we'll watch the kids, and then we'll swap.
Gotcha.
And I'll be timing them. I'll be like, we
So-
gave you this many minutes. You better give us this many minutes. Just kidding.
There you go. Well, at least you get your squat in.
Yep, because I skipped squat because you already
And that'll help.
squatted.
So,
Or maybe we'll sit down here and we'll still podcast.
hey, yeah, we could be, what is that,
and
commentators?
Kel can go and watch all the kids. Are our kids asleep?
Our kids are asleep, and Kel went with
Easy
the
peasy.
kids.
Oh, he drove with them.
Well, he took Taylor to Cal Ranch
And Brooks.
and Brooks to go to the store with them.
And Trey's just with a friend.
Yeah, they went on the bike ride with their dad
Oh, there you go.
on the river trail.
Psh. Well, where we left off? Oh, we were just bashing on women.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
let's
right.
get back to that.
Should we continue with the differences?
Eh.
This just added a different atmosphere.
A different dimension when you have like people behind you. Then it's like
I don't know if they're getting picked up in the mics, but
1,000 times more awkward.
it's one of the disadvantages of doing a basement podcast.
Yeah, in a basement pot. But someday, and we were talking about this. I don't know if it. I guess we were recording way before I thought we were recording.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you
Well,
guys
not way
heard,
before,
but my dream is to put a shop in my backyard and have the first floor a shop where I can do like woodworking and stuff, and then the second story be like an office, and we can do our podcast from there. And I'll just get like a little Google Wi-Fi and put in there so we have good internet, and it extends that reach.
that would be cool. And then you could soundproof it,
hmm
so then it wouldn't have any echo or reverb.
So maybe we'll stop the podcast and then I'll ask Stefan about all these noise canceling headphones
Yeah.
that I'm considering, because
Or
Stefan knows all about the stuff and I don't.
I know about some of it.
I'm what you call stupid.
No, I think the
My
proper
daughter
term
would tell
is-
me, you're not supposed to say that word, Dad.
Oh, yeah, I get that a lot.
And I agree. I think it's a bad word.
I think
It's
it's
offensive and
yeah.
degrading to people.
I think it's true of some people.
I think we all have our specific gifts at what we're good at. Some people like being able to read. I mean, that's maybe not a gift that they had, but they can do something else really well.
That's true.
Maybe they can weld the crap out of any metal, and it just makes so much sense to them. Or music, just they pick it up and they can just listen to a song and start playing it because it makes
Some
sense to
people
me.
might just be able to fall asleep really quick.
I can fall asleep anywhere.
I can't.
I have to take, because I went to the
takes a little
doctor and we're talking. I was like, I'm always tired, and this is like the first time I've like told like 5 doctors about it
Uh-huh.
before, and nobody's like, because you're fat, stupid. But this one was like, yeah, let's do a sleep apnea test, and they're like, it does like obstructive, but it also does all these other forms. Because I mean, I've had a history of like sleep paralysis, and like I'll wake up with headaches sometimes, and I never feel like refreshed after waking up. So tonight I'll be doing that sleep test.
Oh, you're just recently doing it.
I don't know what brought that on, but there was something to tie that into it.
What, sleep? I said some people fall asleep fast.
Oh yeah, fall asleep faster. I'm pro at falling asleep. So good at falling asleep that I have to take a test now
Yeah, to see how
to
good
analyze
you are.
my sleep. Because they do the quiz like, if you drive for more than an hour, what's the likelihood of you falling asleep? And I'm like, near guaranteed. Unless I have to
I don't know about falling asleep for me. I get
do
bored.
just a tiny amount of crack and then I can stay awake. Just a smidge.
Is daydreaming the same as falling asleep? Because I'd probably
No, I think
I'd start to just like get distracted. Like, I've been driving for a really long time now. Like, oh wait, the road.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, the
Sometimes subconscious John is a better driver than real John, which is good because one time I was like, why am I slowing down? And I looked up, I was like, oh, there's deer in the road. Like I hadn't like really processed it. I was just kind of off in my own world. And I looked up and there was deer in the road. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't hit them. Way to go, subconscious John. I owe you one. I owe
Gotta go
us
back.
one because we're the same. I don't know. This is now getting too confusing.
Well, for anyone listening, tell us what your favorite canceling headphones are.
Yeah. Also, I think it'd be cool if we figured out once and for all the best fast food restaurant. If you had a name,
That's it. Oh, like a name for it?
the best place, fast food. So it means you don't go in and sit down.
Right.
It has to have like a drive-through
Okay.
where you get a burger
So the best burger?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm thinking Wendy's because that's where I just went, and it was really good. But see, I was actually thinking of this in the car. I'm like,
See, I
I don't
have
think
Wendy's
there's
at
no-
like the bottom of my list.
really?
I've
thought
never
Wendy's-
been a big fan of Wendy's.
Really?
They're not
Oh.
a sponsor because we don't have sponsors.
I thought they were. Yeah, you know, I don't eat them all the time,
Mhm.
but every once in a while, I like their stuff.
You know something that's good that I never go? Burger King. They have like the flame broil, so it gives it like a.
It's not so
Any
bad.
flavor?
It's okay. I go there when I have coupons.
Like if I wanted like a good burger and I wanted to indulge, probably Carl's Jr.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, the best all-around burger would be Carl's.
Yeah,
But like,
because everyone
Wendy's has a flavor that's kind of fun every once in a while, and Burger
it's like
King.
super greasy if you want something.
Wendy's?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of. I don't know.
Like if you like look at the wrapper after you're done, there's like grease and then like meat boogers. You know, like like the
dry
meat that you
grease,
can
yeah.
like slide off of your meat. If that makes sense. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, like I don't think it's the actual meat part. Maybe it's just fat that you.
Dries or something.
I don't know what it is.
Ew. Yeah, I don't know where you're going, but that doesn't sound good.
I know a lot of people talk about like Five Guys, In and Out.
I went to Smash Burger.
Yeah.
Meh. Like it was.
So I go to all these burger
good,
places.
but
I'm
it
like,
wasn't that
"But
great." Yeah. Carl's is still my favorite.
Red Robin's pretty good. Like I like Red Robin,
I
but
haven't
I
been
wouldn't
there.
consider them fast food. They're
No.
like a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah, I've always thought of them.
And if you put them in that category, then they're like, eh.
yeah, then they're like with all the
My
others.
wife
but-
makes a mean burger.
yeah?
She did this one where you put like cheese in the middle of the burger, and you put it on a Traeger and smoked it.
That sounds good.
It was yummy.
Yeah,
and
the
she makes
Smash
a-
Burger had so much cheese. Like it was like, everybody at work, we all went there, and one of the other guys was like, "Man, that was like greasy." When you're talking about Wendy's being greasy,
Mhm.
that was greasy, but it wasn't just burger grease. Like that was there too, but it was the cheese grease. Like it was just, there was so much cheese on
I
it.
think JCW. I forgot about them. They're pretty good.
I haven't even.
Maybe in
had
JCW.
them. No,
I think they're like the gourmet burger place.
really.
But they're shakes. You get a cookie dough shake from there. It sounds really good. I have these bad blood sugars, and I'm like, shake.
See, but
I need to lose weight. I better go get an Oreo shake. But they have actual Oreos. Like it says Oreo on the cookie.
that's actually
That's-
the best way to go.
Yeah,
If you
'cause-
can get that.
legit knockoff Oreos. Not even close.
No.
Don't put them in the same category even. If anybody that's listened to our podcast since the beginning, they know where we stand
That's right.
with Oreos.
It's all Oreo or
And it-
nothing.
There's specific ways to dunk them.
Yep.
It has to be with milk or in a milkshake.
Yep.
It's just the only way to go. And if you're some crazy person that like twists it off, just eats the center and throws away the outsides,
Then you're a bum.
oh, yeah, the kid waking up.
Uh-oh. I've had a bad habit lately. When I get a burger, I also get a shake.
It is a bad habit, but it's delicious.
Well, I was always thinking, I'm like, maybe the protein from the burger will slow down the metabolizing of the sugar. And doesn't the milk actually help slow it down, or does that make no difference?
Milk
milk
helps
of-
slow down
Of the
the
shake, like the breaking down of, I guess lactose is just sugar in it.
yeah. There's lots of sugar. It has
But it
like
has
lactose,
protein in it, doesn't it?
but then it has lots of added sugar.
Oh.
Like what does this
Doesn't the
milk.
cream,
with cookies need? Sugar.
what does it, well, if it's a milkshake, ice cream, if it's, like, don't they have, like, protein in there too? Like whey protein?
Milk has protein in it.
There you go. See, I know there was something good about having a milkshake.
So protein is a good thing to have. I don't think it has like a ton. Let me Google
Well,
that.
that's why you get a double burger at the same time.
Because I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eat a lot more protein. So you do like a very low carb diet. So you increase your fats and your proteins. And
Yeah.
that's like the best diet for diabetics. So that's what I'm like trying to avoid. Yeah, it's quite a bit. So I'm just looking at 1 cup,
Of milk?
8.2 grams in 1 cup.
See,
And
because
only 12 grams of carbs. So that's actually that's pretty good as far as what you get. Vitamin A, calcium, D,
Do you know the little formula to
Iron.
like get the
B6,
what is it?
Magnesium.
The something index?
the glycemic index.
Yeah.
To see,
Isn't there like a way to like divide carbs by something?
I'm
to
not sure
get,
how they
like,
find it.
Okay. Never mind then. Maybe that'll be something for another time.
I'm gonna do this almond milk, cause
Is that what you have?
yeah, my youngest daughter, she has a hard time digesting milk,
I just use almond milk
so
all
she
the
gets
time.
the
I don't do.
constipation from it.
The only milk I get's from ice cream. If it ain't frozen, I don't drink it.
See, almond milk has only 1 gram of protein. It has less carbs, 8 instead of 12, but that's not like a huge difference.
What about sugars?
And also one of those carbs is from fiber, so it's actually a little bit less carbs than that even. Less calories,
Oh, maybe that was part of it. Was the fiber?
but there's less like vitamins in it as well. At least the ones that they're showing right here.
I don't know.
That's soy milk.
I don't like soy.
It's kind of a weird deterrent.
Yeah,
or-
we got really weird really quick.
Oh, it has quite a bit. It has 7.9, which was the other one was 8, right?
Well, there's soy protein, so I
Yeah.
heard that's.
But it has more carbs, but some of it is fiber, only 1.5 out of 15. So a tenth.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. I used to like that stuff, but almond took its place.
I think it tastes good. Like I don't mind. It tastes like almond, so especially the chocolate one.
You like the chocolate one?
Yummy.
Yeah, the dark chocolate almond milk.
I don't have dark chocolate. I've had like regular chocolate.
Oh, really? I did a dark chocolate one. That was good too.
So remember as a kid, I go mow lawns, and
That's what you charge them. I want 1 cup of chocolate.
and so
Sorry.
I get my money, and then I go to the gas station and fill back up on gas, and I can get several treats, and that pretty much spent the money I made.
Oh.
So I get a thing of Twizzlers, pull and pill, because it was $1.89, and after tax, it came to $2 even. And then by then, gas was like you can get a gallon for like under $1, which makes you feel old. But I don't think gas.
It's like doubled or tripled since then.
Yeah, it's gone up quite a bit. But then I'd also buy a Slim Fast
The chocolate one?
because I thought they were delicious. I was like, this is like a shake. This is delicious. I loved them.
I think your sugar problem started a lot younger.
So you buy a pull and pill Twizzlers
Yeah.
this time, and Twizzlers are delicious.
They are good.
They're
The
no-
pollen pills are the best one.
They're no Oreo. It's hard to decide the best Twizzler because like pull and pill definitely has its place.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of different flavors, like grape.
Yeah, they've got crazy flavors.
Like I never see grape around anymore, but I remember like liking that a lot when I was younger.
I either like the pollen pill or the regular strawberry, like whatever that was.
But they have Twizzler nibs. Those are
Oh, you're right.
delicious,
Never mind. The nibs are good. Dang it. I totally forgot about those.
right? But then like Red Vine has its place. It's usually pretty low on the totem pole.
Yeah, it's.
Every once in a while, you're like, oh,
I
those are
have
good.
To, I
And then
have
you're
to
like,
be.
"Meh."
I have to be desperate.
Yeah.
Like if I've been like.
The only Twizzler.
Yeah, if I'm like at like an event or something, and the only thing they have there are like red vines, I was like, nah, and I'm like, nah, I might just gnaw on it for a little bit. I'm just not a fan of red vines. I've never been. My wife is. She loves them, but I'm not.
But then they have those chocolate Twizzlers. Those ones
I've
are
never
pretty
been a fan
delicious.
of. Well, the chocolate ones, I was, meh, but I never was a big fan of black licorice.
Like it's okay.
Yeah,
Like, if
I've
it's
just
the
never
only
been a big-
option.
Yeah,
I would never pick it over like strawberry or cherry.
or something else. Yeah. Now everyone's gonna get diabetes just listen to our conversation.
I think I'm seeing what my problem is.
I think so.
No, but
too.
I haven't eaten
I don't like candy.
junk like that very often. Like I don't like candy. I'd rather have mashed potatoes than candy.
I'd rather have a milkshake if I'm gonna have something sweet.
Yeah. Oreos, Twizzlers, and ice cream. That's
All three. I just do the ice cream.
Twizzler ice cream. Why don't I make a Twizzler shake?
We're
how do
copywriting
we
it right now, so
like,
no
how do
one
we
can touch it.
secure that for ourselves?
Yeah, we're gonna post this really fast, so it's like, look, these guys had the idea first. We want 10%.
Hard thing is, how do you keep them soft inside of
How?
the milkshake?
I know, cause that's the problem with gummies too, because they go hard.
Because I worked at a Hoagie Yogi, and they have these mixing machines where you like put pucks of yogurt in, and then you'll put the mix-ins, and then it blends it all together. And we would do gummy bears and stuff like that, but I was like,
It gets
you know,
hard.
it's like a mix, so they're small, but like it's hard to chew and it gets stuck in your teeth.
I think
Just
you would have to change
Cookie dough
the...
or Oreos, just stick to that.
No, because with the licorice one, you just have to change whatever gelatin stuff that they have in there and switch it to something else that doesn't get so hard.
My wife put Cadbury eggs in one when she was making a yogurt,
I could see that.
and they were delicious.
Yeah, I could see that one work. That would be awesome.
I wonder, like, if you saw how much money they spent and made, if like Cadbury was year round.
It
Instead
is
of-
in Canada.
It is in Canada. I'd like to see the numbers and like compare them.
Because, yeah, it was funny. You see Cadbury a lot. Like, they make a bunch of different candies.
Like they have the big eggs with like caramel in the middle.
I don't know if the
Then
eggs
they
are
have
all
the
year
hard
round, but they
shells.
just have a bunch of different candies that they make. They're not... I mean, Cadbury eggs is the most popular that I've ever known, but they also make a bunch of other goody goods.
True that. True that.
So go to Jupiter and get more... Wait, no, it's Mars to get the candy bars.
And then, well, Rebecca, if you made it this far,
Congratulations.
Stefan was on Facebook, and he thought he was on his profile, and he's like, oh, hey, I'll add Rebecca. So we weren't, like, asking you to listen to our podcast for us. So if you did, and this has been very painful, I'm sorry. You don't have to feel obligated at all. But for our other listeners, you have to. I will cry if you don't. I probably won't cry. In fact, I probably won't even know.
What are you talking about? We have a live feed of views on our phone. Okay, no, we
I
don't.
don't check that every second. In
You're
fact,
right,
I haven't.
we don't.
Oh, one thing I'm going to talk about. So they have this "Won't You Be My Neighbor" documentary come up. I want to see that. That would be something
with the
we
Mr.
should go
Rogers?
to. Yeah,
Yes, I would actually go to that.
because he looks like an inspirational guy. So it'd be cool to learn more about him, about his show.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. Is there any other shows out right now? I don't know if there's anything worth going to. Like, Solo was the biggest thing right now that was...
Yeah.
It's been not enough for me to go.
Ant-Man versus the Wasp, or Ant-Man and the Wasp is
Oh, that's
coming in
out soon.
July.
Maybe we should get tickets for that. I don't know if my wife will.
Think of that
see
many
it.
movies that are coming out that I like. Want
I
to
think
see.
after Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's
Most of them are like
that's
kid
the last-
stuff. Like, oh, we'll take our kids to that.
Mm.
Like Wreck-It Ralph 2.
That looks kind of funny.
That looks pretty good. Like they go on the internet and they go to the Disney store
That was
and there's
funny.
all these princesses.
That was
Like I
hilarious.
showed my girls and they loved it. They're like, I can't wait to watch it. Can we watch it tomorrow? I was like, oh, it doesn't come out till
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Isn't that the worst part about a
Whoops.
trailer? Get y'all excited just to say, it's not here yet.
Chit Chat That podcast.
Hey, look, we show up.
Heck yeah. There's the Chit Chat podcast. Chit Chat Groom. I just promoted you guys. So you're 62,000 viewers. We'll go to 62,001. Maybe. Hey, how are you doing? All right. So,
Well,
remember how we talked about how great kids are?
yep.
Always ruining our plans, taking our time. Just kidding, you know what I did? I created my daughter's
Oh, did you like how I
email
posted
account?
that one? It's had 3 views. Yeah!
I'm
Eat that,
famous.
everybody.
Famous.
We're the fastest growing basement podcast. I think.
Oh, it says subscribe 1, and it's me. All right. Well, this is Chit Chat That.
I'm Stefan.
I'm John.
For daily updates, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't miss out on the next Chit Chat That.